Hi, my name is Tophia. I go by Tophiachu. Online, recently we were a victim of a violent crime. I know it is a very huge ask for people to do, but can people please tag any large content creators, any celebrities, anybody that can help. I have 5.1 million views on here. I'm hoping this could reach somebody to help me and my mom secure stable housing. I know that my GoFundMe is a lot and a huge ask for people, considering I haven't had the best reputation on social media. You got a life-threatening illness. You got an expiration date you need to worry about. You got a scheduled meeting with Jesus. So I would suggest you worry about that. Due to bullying, harassment, etc. that I've tried to clean up, I don't have a lawyer. When I start going after people with a lawyer, I'm trying to secure stable housing, to be able to buy a house, to be able to work towards affording the things that I need, and also be able to work on my social media and be able to sustain a stable living and income. If you guys can, please share the link out. Please share the GoFundMe out. Please help support the GoFundMe. But don't sit here and act like a 9-to-5 job is literally making you money when you can't even afford to donate to someone. They're saying Timu because I mentioned child labor and I was not complaining about child labor. So now they're saying Timu. I didn't say child labor was bad. It is bad, but I'm saying like you support a lot of companies that do child labor. I'm not going to complain because if that's all I can afford, that's all I can afford.
Forward. Just want to let you know that restrooms are going to be closing soon. If you'd like to use them, go and get your name on the waiting list.
One of the places that I have to qualify requires you to pass a drug test. How am I going to pass a drug test if someone's doing that? Does this face look like the face of someone who is using drugs? No, I don't use drugs, so don't say that I'm using that. It smells like burning rubber. How am I using that? I don't even have money to buy any drugs anyways. First I'm using drugs, but then I'm broke. If you come back and you ask why was you blocked for telling the truth, you're gonna be blocked again. It's a need, it's not a want for these things. You know, like I can't even go to a concert without having a breakdown. Like I can't even function. My disability is PTSD and major depression. You want to sit here and come on the internet and literally spread misinformation and think it's funny that someone's brother doesn't get buried while being a stupid bitch? I don't feel entitled to have 500,000. That is not what I'm trying to say. I never said I felt entitled. I'm just trying to make a living so I can work. That's it. Even if I have to do work from home while I live in the house, hey. I can't work in person, but I could work from home. I could do social media. You're not donating for me to have money. You're donating for me to get a house. I haven't went to fast food except to have breakfast this morning because me and my mom didn't eat breakfast. Walmart's not a good place to work at, and I can't work I have major depression and PTSD. So someone said apply for disability. I've already done that, but I haven't applied yet because my appointment's not till the 21st. If I start making money, I can start doing my clothing line and start working on my restaurant. I've seen people hit a $500,000 goal quickly if they literally help. No one's saying that I'm entitled to your money. Yeah, I don't like the fact that people are saying, oh, well, why would I give you my hard-earned money? I have a job. You don't know why someone doesn't have a job. Major depression and PTSD. I'm not trying to raise money to spend it on clothes or anything like that because I make money online to buy clothes. Yeah, I am begging because you know why? I am. I need it. Okay. So what if I'm begging? Who cares? You shouldn't tell someone to go get a job. The only people you need to tell to go get a job is like an internet beggar right now that is literally asking for money right now. I didn't go live and ask for money. Now, today, did I? No, so why are you telling me to go get a job? My life did not start out with, hey, send money to my PayPal. Please help support the GoFundMe. And if you don't have anything nice to say, please don't say anything at all in the comments because you will be blocked. Literally, it did not start like that.
Oh my god. Yeah, no way this is the type of video we're making today. Tophia has been on one in the last couple weeks, making a new GoFundMe with the goal of $500,000, and she has been making some wild fucking claims in the process of trying to get this money. But let me explain to you why this is all happening. You see, Tophia's been homeless for months now, and the shelter that she's been living in is just not up to her standards, and so she's decided, I'm a celebrity. Like, what the fuck am I doing here? And I'm just gonna ask people for $500K. And the reason she got to the $500K dollar amount is because she realized that not only does she need to buy a house, but she needs to bury her brother as well. Because, you know, you remember him? She doesn't mention him quite a lot in these videos because it's really about the fucking house. The funeral's an afterthought, despite that being something that should have been on her plate and her #1 priority since the day it happened. And that is why the GoFundMe is titled... Now hold up, stop. This is kind of weird. This is just happening in real time as I'm making this video. When I originally saw this, the name of the GoFundMe was, like, Bury My Brother and Help Us Get a House. And now it's been changed. The new name of the GoFundMe is Donald Slidell Jr. Now, again, she's asking for $500,000 in the name of her recently deceased brother. But down in the bio, you can see that this GoFundMe that is adorned with tons of pictures of Tophiachu and makes it look like, just at face value anyway, it's just a GoFundMe for like his memorial. Tophia writes down here, "We're humbly asking for your support to help us cover the funeral and burial costs, and to help us take the next step towards a secure place to live." That's the only mention of a house you'll see in this GoFundMe now, and all you're going to hear Tophia talk about ad nauseum in this video is how this money is going to go towards her to get a new house. But now she's trying to be sneaky again like she was with the first GoFundMe, not making it known in the title that it's for her to get a new house, mainly that it's for her brother's funeral costs, which is just crazy if you imagine that somebody's going to pay for a $500,000 funeral. But it's she just wants the other $497,000 for herself. You are going to see more lying in this video today alone than you might hear this whole month. Like at work, no matter where you are, you're not going to hear this many lies in one place. You're going to hear Tophia claim that she's not entitled to your money, but she is entitled to a house. You're going to hear Tophia ask the question, why are people going at me when there's all these people out here not supporting Palestine? And that's crazy to hear her say when not too long ago she was saying shit like this.
If you never wanted us to help you with your situation in Gaza and you didn't want our support, then don't ask us. So, with that being said, I guess that must mean that we're lifting the what do you call it, the boycotts on things. I think I might go have myself a little Big Mac. I think I might start going back to drinking Mountain Dew or Baja Blast. Because, you know, if you don't really care about our support and you don't want our support, then screw you.
That was after Trump won the election and she blamed Gaza for voting for them. Yes, all those people in Palestine who voted for Trump. Oh man. But back to the topic at hand. You're going to hear Tophia say, "Oh my God, people are donating to rich to what was it again? Oh, yeah, to racist people." And like, she's racist.
It's like, you're here, literally, able to work. You're lucky the president has not sent you to Mexico. Like, and you're over here complaining and talking crap about non-Mexican people. Like,
You're going to see Tophia stream live from a public bathroom. And then in one clip, she gets kicked out. The guy walks in and says, "Hi, excuse me, we're closing up in a little bit." And Tophia, of course, because she has to try to save some face, tries to mute the camera, but is far too slow with it.
Father, just want to let you know that restrooms are going to be closing soon. If you'd like to use them, go and get your name on the waiting list.
You know damn well if that guy wasn't able to be heard at all, she would have said, "Oh, it was just somebody trying to come into the bathroom. I told them it's busy." She always has to be the one to look good in every situation, and that's exactly what you're going to see in this video. Not once in any video you'll ever see on Tophia will you ever hear her take accountability or accept responsibility for absolutely anything. You'll never hear her say, you know what, that's my bad. You know what, I fucked up on that one. Never once. And if you do find that clip out there, I'm putting a bounty out. If anyone can find that shit on Twitter, I'll give you a shout out in the next Tophia video. Find a video of Tophia taking accountability. You ain't gonna find it in today's. So as you can probably tell by the duration of this video, I don't even know how long it's gonna be. I just know we got a lot of videos to look at here. Strap in, my friends. It's gonna be a long and bumpy ride. We're gonna start out the day Tophia announced that she was making this new GoFundMe. And we find out a whole lot about Tophia's current living situation, everything that's going on in her life, all from her own mouth. It's crazy that she blames the internet for putting all this info on her out there, when really everything you need to know about her is stuff she'll say right here in her live streams. So this is back on October 5th, and Tophia claims she can't show her face for one reason or another, but don't worry, you'll get to see her beautiful mug sometime soon, at least in the next 2 streams, I'm pretty sure. And she wants absolutely no negativity talked about the GoFundMe. It's fine that she can talk negative about any other TikToker that she wants, but don't you dare do it in her comment section.
Okay, so I've been blocking and deleting people's comments for being negative. If you come back and you ask why was you blocked for telling the truth, you're gonna be blocked again. You're gonna be deleted. So do not leave negative comments because you will get blocked, you will get deleted again. I'm not gonna explain it. If you're gonna be negative, then you don't need to be on my page. I said it takes 2 seconds to be kind. Whether you think I deserve something or not, then block me. Why do you keep leaving comments just to get blocked and deleted? Like, I got all day. I could block and delete people all day. Saying that I'm working overtime, okay, I don't care. If I don't want that negativity on my page, take it elsewhere. To literally say like, oh, you're blocking and deleting me for telling the truth, you're gonna get blocked and deleted again. Don't ask me why you got blocked. Don't ask me why you got deleted. I said negative comments will be blocked and deleted. That's it. That's all.
I have spoken! She's laying down the law. Like, don't you dare come here with that nonsense. Now, I don't really get the whole mentality that you can ask people for money, but then say, no, I want your money, not your fucking opinions, alright? I don't care what you guys gotta say. Just open your wallet and that's that. You know, we do a podcast every week, and we have super chats, and one of the big parts about it is reading what everyone has to say. That's the fun of it. But granted, we're not getting all the mean comments that Tophia is getting. But also, at the same time, we're not asking for $500,000 for a fucking house, so I guess it evens out a little bit. If you're gonna go on the internet and you're gonna ask for something that people find to be completely ridiculous, you have to expect them to want to give their opinions. But Tophia has decided no. No. There will be no negativity shown on this GoFundMe on any of my pages. Now, here's the thing. If you want to go comment something like, God, I hate the people at the Reddit. Oh my God, the people on the Tophia Reddit are so horrible. I wish this, and this happens to them. Well, that's allowed. That's not negative because it's towards Tophia's enemies. If it's negative towards Tophia, then get gone.
How do you think celebrities make money? How do you think celebrities are rich off of you because you support the wrong people, making millions of dollars off of selling makeup, and he's racist? Let's be for real. Some girl in the comment section literally told y'all on Instagram that y'all will support celebrities who are bad, but won't support someone who literally needs it, and it's so annoying. Like, it's so frustrating. Like, if you don't have nothing nice to say, then don't say anything at all. Yeah, of course you love Jeffrey because he's racist. That's why. And don't say who's we, because you literally speak for people when you say we are not going to donate, but yet people donated. Who's we? You don't speak for everyone else that may choose to donate or may choose to help. If you don't want to help, that's fine. All I'm trying to do is secure literally stable housing. I haven't been able to work on my social media because I was denied my social media access, because if I do social media on property with filming or anywhere on the vicinity of any property where I'm at, I was asked that if I do that and I get caught, that they will ask me to leave. They will ask me to literally leave. They are preventing me from even working on my social media, which is the living income that I have. I can't go live with my cam on. I can't make videos unless I leave somewheres and then go make videos, which it's very hard to do that. And I do want to talk about something that someone brought up. No, you don't have to have an income to buy a house, because the lady who was in the street, they raised $500,000 for her, bought her a house, and she had no income, no job, no nothing. And they literally paid for her house with no mortgage. So if I can get a house with no mortgage, that would be great.
What? Wouldn't we all? I mean, man, I would love a house without a mortgage. So if you guys can just, go ahead and, do that, that'd be great. No, I don't expect you guys to give me $500,000, but I do expect the state or whoever to just straight up give me a good house. And keyword good house, as you'll come to see later. Like, she wants a big house where she can have barbecues with her friends and different shit with a big backyard. Like, she's a very picky person. Now, there's a video title I used months back, and it always seems to fit whatever situation Tophia is in. And that is that beggars can't be choosers. And she's doing this right now. She's like, listen, I know we're in a horrible situation, but if we could just get the best option available, then that would just be lovely. But while I was going back and looking at that beggars can't be choosers video I was talking about, I listened to like the first 40 seconds, and it was kind of scary, because this video is 7 months old. It predates the death of Tophiachu, and the beginning of it is so similar to the same situation Tophia is in right now. So in the past 2 weeks since we last covered Tophia, do you guys think she's bettered her life yet? Do you think she's any closer to getting that ever so elusive house she's trying to get? Or is she still living in her car with like no signs of getting out of there? Well, I hate to be the bearer of obvious news, but Tophia is still rotting away in her car with Mamachu by her side, and things haven't been going very well. Mamachu was in the hospital last week, and Tophiachu spent that time arguing at the trolls and saying that, they're the reason that her family's in this situation, which no, they're not. It's your fault you're in this situation for not paying your rent, but that's a discussion we can have later in the video. The more things change, the more they stay the same. The only difference is now they don't have a car. The other thing that Tophia brought up is that she is not allowed to live stream, or she's not allowed to take any types of videos on the property wherever she's staying. Now, this is most likely the shelter she's been staying at, and Tophia will go on to explain later that if somebody else is in that video, they'll freak out at Tophia, they'll want her out of there, and that's probably a big reason of why she set up this GoFundMe. It's clear that these shelters or whoever told Tophia that, look, this isn't a real job. You need to find a real job or you need to get the hell out of here. You can't just sit around and record all day. And Tophia's like, well, that's not fucking happening, so GoFundMe time.
And I have tried to get disability for my mom. She got denied. So it's going to take a while for her disability. When she applies for disability, which she did, it takes like 6 months to 8 months. It could even take up to years. Like, when I said about the lady that lived here for 4 years, someone was like, well, maybe she's not doing anything. Of course they do. Housing help does not happen as fast as people think it does, especially for homeless people. It has nothing to do with not having a job, because I've seen people get housing help with no income. This one lady that was interested, not interested, but I told her about my story. She helps people. She helped someone get a place with no income. But when it came to me, it was like some excuse which didn't make any sense. For me, I'm trying to secure a house. That's it. That's all. I don't think I'm entitled to anyone's money, considering the fact that a lot of celebrities like Jeffree Star think they're entitled to your money. A lot of these battlers out here will literally get mad if people don't give them like expensive gifts. Like, I'm just someone that has been, transparent in a lot of things. Like, to say, oh, well, you're spending money. I'm supposed to walk around with no clothes because you say so. This is literally so scary that I have to watch my back Most of the time when I go out, like, I know that I could possibly hit my goal, and that's all I'm trying to do is get a stable living situation. To say, well, you have to have income to buy a house. Once I secure a house, then I could literally work on my social media, get a camera, and start making videos and start doing social media again. The reason why social media isn't working is because I cannot make videos where I'm at, and when I go out places, it's really hard to like make videos or do anything of that sort, because the types of videos that I want to make are like plus size clothing. I want to see that, oh wow, I'll make it for the people that do.
As you're going to see her bring up many times in this video, the social media aspect of her life is really getting in the way of everything else. She brought up how she doesn't need an income to get a house, and I assume that's because people are telling her, Tophia, how are you going to pay for the ongoing expenses of the house if you don't have an income? And her answer to that is, as she mentioned before, she wants no mortgage, and she wants the $500,000 for not only the house, but to help her furnish it as well. And I think she just assumes that when she gets given this free house, or she gets the $500,000 for the house, that she'll be able to sit down, make TikToks, and be able to pay for everything in her life that she needs to. But the constant conundrum she's running into is that she needs to make her TikToks to make a living right now, to pay for things right now. But since she doesn't have a house, she can't make those TikToks. And getting a job is obviously that's not in the cards. So now we wait. Now we just see what happens. Does the government step in? Do the people step in? I don't know. If I had to take a guess, if I was a betting man, I'd bet that Tophia is homeless for a pretty goddamn long time if she thinks this is all going to work out in her favor.
How are people supposed to afford anything? Look, you get stuck on a fixed income with disability and it's still not enough. Like, my mom's disability will still not be enough for us to afford anything at this point. It takes months. I'm not going to get it in 1 month because I apply. It takes 6 months, 6 to 8 months, or possibly even years before anyone receives help. I hear people that have been here for 6 months. I hear people that have been here for 4 years and is still trying to achieve housing. This company, I've been with this company before somewhere else, and they do not help with housing. They didn't help me with housing before. People are trying to make an excuse as my social media, which is discrimination. I don't have the energy to be putting it towards trying to sue for discrimination and get a lawyer in the process of trying to get a place and achieve housing.
Now, maybe you didn't catch that quite right, but Tophia said that she is going to be suing quote-unquote people for discrimination due to saying that social media is one of the reasons they can't help her get housing. Now, let's try to dig into this a little bit, as it's one of those times where Tophia slips up and says something that's like actually on her mind, that's bugging her about her real life, that she probably isn't supposed to say on her streams. And so I'm only imagining that whoever's helping her get housing is telling her something along the lines of, social media is not a real job. Yes, for some people it is, but clearly for you, this isn't working because you're not bringing in any money. So you need to get a real job. And Tophia is just blown away by this. She's like, why aren't you helping me? No, leave out all that shit about the job and my social media. Why aren't you helping me? And they're like, we just said it. We just told you. Now, this is all speculation. This could obviously not be what they're saying. I've said it once and I'll say it a million times. I'm just a dude who's a little bit too stoned on the internet giving his own opinions and speculation on this stuff. But if Tophia's gonna say that they're discriminating against her because of her social media, and that's getting in the way of her getting housing, I can only imagine that whoever she's talking to is telling her that, yeah, this is a serious problem, and they're probably parroting the same advice she was given by Brother Chu, Mama Chu, and her extended family, and that is, you should probably drop this and just try to get a regular job, because it's clearly not like there's not much fanfare here. It's just a lot of hate, and Tophia, she's not prepared to hear that. And now, there's something very important I want you guys to listen to pretty closely here. If you've watched any video on Tophia over the last 6 months, you'll hear her say that the trolls are the reason that they're in the situation they're in right now. The reason they're homeless in the first place is because of the trolls. Everything bad that's happened to them is because of the trolls. And in saying that, here's Tophiachu admitting that Papachu is the reason they are homeless right now, and what she's saying about him and his illness, there's really nothing funny about it. Hell, Tophia even says you can't help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves. All of these things are true, but what's also true is that you can't blame the internet for problems that your own family put you in.
Like with my dad, people don't understand. He has mental health issues. If we were helping us get a place, they can't help him, which I already knew that. I told them no because my dad has bipolar. We will be back in the same situation if he's involved, you know. He's gonna put us in the situation of being homeless again because it's always gonna be an issue with his bipolar. There's nothing more I can do for someone that doesn't want to do for themselves.
Papachu has horrible mental health problems and was probably hell to live with. But again, that does not mean you're allowed to blame every single problem you have on the internet when it's clearly things around you and yourself that puts you in these situations.
Like, just because you want to make a joke, you only raised $25, 55 more years to go. Like, okay, maybe someone might be kind enough to say, hey, you know what, this situation is messed up. Let me give a large amount. Like, I'm not going to be negative. I'm going to keep the positivity. I'm going to hold hope that I will hit the goal. And if I don't, so what? What's the worst? At least I asked. There's no harm in asking. And like people saying I'm going to prison, I'm not going to prison for defrauding someone unless I raise $500,000 and then misuse it. You don't go to prison if you don't hit your goal. So how am I going to go to prison for only raising $25? That sounds dumb. That makes no sense to literally sit here and say, well, you're going to be arrested for fraud. I only raised $25. I didn't raise $500,000 yet, and when I do, I'm going to be looking for a realtor or going to be reaching out to someone who will be helping me purchase the house. Like, it's not a scam, it's not a fraud. Like, who needs $500,000 to go to Comic-Con? Where are your guys' logical brains to be like, you're trying to raise money for Comic-Con? If I was trying to raise money for Comic-Con, I wouldn't be asking for $500,000. Like, Comic-Con's not till January. We're in October. I don't have a Comic-Con that I'm going to because there's no Comic-Con till January. I'm not trying to raise money to spend it on clothes or anything like that because I make money online to buy clothes. Like, it's not enough. But the money that I make is enough to get me clothes because I don't have any. Like, you know, there's so much that goes into a lot of things that people don't understand. Like, oh, she's trying to raise money so she can go on a shopping spree. A $500,000 shopping spree with what? If I got $500,000, I'm buying a house.
Tophia keeps trying to use the same excuse every time somebody rightfully calls her out on misusing these GoFundMe funds. She's done it before with the initial GoFundMe that she made years ago to try to get some rent money. They spent that money on Comic-Con. Shocker that people still call her out for it to this day, right? The second GoFundMe was the one that recently got taken down, the one that was made after her brother's death. It was clearly made in an attempt to get some extra money other than just paying for his funeral. That's why Tophia had that little excerpt, the same one she has in the current GoFundMe, saying, oh, and also, it's to get us a house. But this time, she's just being right in your face with it. 500,000. She expects that shit. And one of her big excuses is, well, how am I supposed to spend $500K at Comic-Con? Or how am I supposed to spend that much on a shopping spree? Clearly, I'm not asking for that much for something like that. I actually want a house, which I bet you she does. But what people are calling her out for is that when this only reaches like maybe $100 at most, what do you think she's going to do with that money? The money that was given for her brother's funeral and for housing. She'll be like, well, we didn't make enough, so might as well buy a fucking Comic-Con ticket. Everyone knows what's going to happen here.
Yeah, I am begging because you know why? I am. I need it. Okay. So what if I'm begging? Who cares? Yeah, I have heard of roommates, and you know what happens? I'm not going to rent with someone I don't know. I do have an option to have a roommate and rent a house, but I don't have the income right now because I can't work on my social media. I'm being denied all because they don't want me to make a living on my social media. That's it, that's all. People have said like, well, that's your living, and I'm like, yeah, well, I can't do it because they said if I film, if I make videos on property, I will be kicked out. So yes, I do have someone that I could roommate with. We were looking at this one house, but I do not have the funds to literally rent the house. I would need about like 2K. Like, I'm already on a wait list for a housing program. You know, I just gotta wait. I'm already on a wait list for another place to stay at. I'm already on these wait lists. Like, I've already been on it to try to get housing. Like, I'm on these wait lists, but I'm far behind because there's people in front of me on these wait lists. Yes, I'm trying to obtain housing. Yes, you can get a place to live without no income. People have done it before, and they don't have to get on wait lists. They get it pretty fast. I'm trying to do the best that I can. I do want to rent with some people, but I don't have the income that I'm trying to earn. I would love to do work online, but I don't have a computer for that because my computer literally went with the car. Because, you know, I would do the alternative of making more money online and doing a work from home job, but I can't do that because I don't have an income coming in, and the place that I'm at right now is not a great place, especially if I have to answer calls. It is not a good place to be answering calls. You know, I would need somewhere to where I could be able to work from home.
So I want to clear this up with you guys. She has major depression, and that makes it so she can't go out to a job and work. However, she is able to work online. She's able to make silly and funny TikToks. She's able to review clothing. She's able to do all these things, but her major depression does not let her go get a job. That's actually, I think, the one thing this is causing her to not be able to do. It's like, no, I'm not in bed all day. I'm actually getting up and singing and dancing to Jonas Brothers songs. But when it comes to me actually having to put effort into shit, oh my God, I can't handle the stress. Holy fuck. Oh God, it's so terrible. And she doesn't understand that this is something that so many people have to go through. Homelessness is an epidemic, and there are a lot of homeless people who wish they had the reach Tophia had. Like, imagine being down on your luck, and you have the ability to talk to like 400,000 people and say, hey guys, I really need your help right now. That'd be fine. If you're not someone like Tophia, who, as I showed at the beginning of the video, was just a few weeks ago shitting on people who ask for help online. But the fact of the matter is this: Tophia is not disabled. Tophia is not somebody who can't work a regular job. And every now and again, it's quite rare, but you might see somebody in Tophia's comment section who goes, God, people are being too hard on this girl. Just let her try to make her money online. And she'll never, and I mean this, never ever learn a damn thing if people continue to just coddle her and give her donations and don't let her grow in any way. There's always been this sentiment that, oh, she'll never work. Smokey, you're crazy for thinking that no matter what situation happens, she'd ever get a job. Well, one of these days, a situation's going to occur where she's gonna need money some way, somehow, and everything's gonna be, like, off the table except an actual job. What's she gonna do then? Probably just sit on the street and cry. It's fucking sad, but it's the truth when it comes to Tophia. If work is the last option, then that's it. And as I'm recording this video, like right now in real time, Tophia is alive, she's crying, she's bitching, she's moaning, but one of the things that she brought up, and I'll show it here later in the video, probably at the end, is that she just told people that when I get this house that you will pay for, all the expenses and all the bills, they will be paid for by you as well.
I guess I will be. I'm a hypocrite for what? For saying, for speaking up, because you support bad celebrities. Like, all these celebrities don't deserve the money they have. What about Katy Perry? She flew to space while people are not being able to afford their housing.
Yeah, guys, let's all turn our attention to Katy Perry for going to space while Tophia is having a housing crisis. Like, Like, these fucking celebrities just don't care about the little guy.
Like, let's be for real. She flew to space while people can't even afford to live. I'm worse than Katy Perry. Well, you can get blocked. You don't see me spending billions of dollars to fly to space. I'm not passing my problems on to other people. You could just, if you feel like I'm passing my problems on to you, block me. You don't have to be here and listen to what I have to say. Like, if you don't like what I have to say, then block me. You guys literally sit here and feel entitled to my page to be hateful. Nobody cares about your sad, pathetic lives. Like, seriously. Nobody cares about your problems or your issues. Somebody literally had the nerve to say, can you donate to my GoFundMe? My car's broken down so I could get to work. No, walk or take the bus. Like, nobody cares. Like, I'm so sick and tired of people trying to use my page to raise money for their GoFundMes. It's annoying.
Is this bitch fucking serious right now? Like how dare you try to get a helping hand on my platform? We're here to give me money. I don't want to hear about you needing to get to work. So what? Walk, take the bus. And like, it's crazy because Tophia, imagine not caring about somebody having such a hard time getting to work while you sit over here just begging for donations. Kind of reminds me of like Katy Perry or somebody, you know, going to space without a care in the world, not giving a shit about some random woman in Albuquerque who doesn't have a house. Somebody in her chat said, you're worse than Katy Perry, and she's like, okay, well then you're blocked. She can't handle one crossword about herself. And she has no problem telling people about their sad, pathetic lives, but if you talk about Tophia's, well then you're blocked. Or, you know, she's gonna start crying and say she doesn't want to talk about that. She can say whatever she wants to whoever she wants, but God forbid you give her a taste of her own medicine.
Like, oh, can people help me raise money for my GoFundMe for a car? No, take the bus. Like, there's other modes of transportation you could take. Like, using my page while I'm trying to get a safe place to live and then be like, because you're trying to take advantage. Like, people know that people don't like me, so they're going to take advantage to raise money for their GoFundMe. It's so messed up. Like, what? But yet people don't say anything about that.
Yes, Tophia, people aren't going to say anything about that because you are the queen of taking advantage of people with GoFundMes. Back when your brother died, you made the GoFundMe to try to get some extra cash in your pocket when you didn't even need money for the funeral. And now you're trying to do that again and really fucking upset about the fact that people aren't as sympathetic as they were back around when he died. And that's why she's so desperate right now. She hates seeing anybody who could get a single dollar off of anyone who's not herself. You see, Tophia expected this GoFundMe to shoot through the roof, at least get a couple thousand like the last one did, and it's probably a cruel twist of fate for her to see that it hasn't even reached $100 in its first 5 days. Again, I think Tophia just expected, well, it got to 7,000 the first time, it'll probably get there again. But no, in the wake of that situation, there were tons of people who felt so bad for you and your family that they were like, hey, we'll help pay for your brother's funeral. And then it became apparent that, well, Tophia here had already gotten paid by the state for the funeral or the service or whatever it was. That's why Brother Chu is in an urn right now. And she tries to just sweep that under the rug. No, that never happened. No, that old GoFundMe really was for the funeral. It never was. And now, all these months later, she thinks that if she opens one back up, that all those people will come running back like, yes, we finally have a way to finally get Tophia that money. Those people have come and gone.
Literally sitting here trying to take advantage of my page because you know people don't like me and would donate to you. Whatever, like, walk, okay? Jesus Christ. No, I'm not sitting on a toilet. I'm outside. Yeah, I'm not, and this is no way me against OF. Like, make your money, you do you. Like, I thought about scheming the game. Okay, I thought about, but not like that. Like, it is so crazy to me that everyone sits here and likes to crap on people that are trying to get a bag, that are trying to make a living. I just want to have stable housing. I just want to be able to work. Once I have the house, I could work on whatever it is I need to do to have income coming in. Because, yeah, once I buy the house, I'm going to have to be able to get some stuff. But I see a future with, like, my friends hanging out, us enjoying a backyard, being able to barbecue. Look, it's a nice night for like a fire pit to have s'mores, like to be able to go swimming and to be able to post content and outfit ideas and to be able to do whatever I want, you know? Like to be able to enjoy the life that I deserve to enjoy and work on myself. Yes, eventually when I get housing, I could go see a therapist. I can better myself. And when I show people that I better myself, maybe people will change their opinions about me.
Tophia, I know you're never going to hear this, but if you do, I want you to go up to any homeless person you see on the street, or maybe someone else in the shelter, and tell them, hey, the life I deserve, maybe not you, but the life I deserve is me sitting out back of my house bought by people on the internet that I didn't have to work a day for. I'm going to be barbecuing, I'm going to be swimming, I'm going to be recording content and doing clothing designs, and I want you to tell me the look on that person's face as you tell them that with all sincerity, believing that you deserve more than all these other people, that everyone else in that shelter, well, they're on their own. They need to go find a job. They probably all are looking for jobs so they can make money that they need. But you're just sitting there like, I deserve this. I deserve the house. I want a pool with a diving board with a fucking slide. Like, how can you not hear yourself while you're saying this? You're living in a place with people who are struggling just like you, and you're sitting here on your phone all day like, hey guys, we're getting closer to that ever elusive goal of me having a house that I don't have to worry about paying a mortgage on, that I can sit around in and just dick around all day, not have a care in the world. And all these other people here, they can go get fucked. If I got 500K, I would use it for me and my big house. None of these other people around here. It's not like anyone else needs a helping hand. It's not like Tophia could just do with an apartment or anything like that. No, she needs the full 500K, all for herself, all for her big barbecuing beautiful house. The fucking nerve of this woman, man. Like, I could just imagine someone who's homeless being like, yeah, I'd kill for an apartment, right? I'd just love to have a place, like have a roof over my head. And Toph's like, yeah, not gonna cut it. No. Like, excuse me, realtor, let's go to the next place as they're trying to find some semblance of housing for you guys. You will just keep saying no to everything, and as you'll come to see later in the video, again, an apartment is off the table for Tophia. Not because she can't afford it, hell, it's probably the only thing she can afford, but because she thinks that she's too good for that. They've already surpassed the life of apartments. She deserves to live in a house now. Why? Because she fucking said so.
I don't think I'm gonna get stable housing. They're not helping anybody. Okay, first they're saying that some places only help families, right? Okay, whatever. They only help families. Now they're not even helping families, which is very stupid. Like, what's the point of having programs to help families if you're not gonna help families? Because I know somebody who's not getting help that's a family, and I'm like, I'm being denied these programs because a lot of them require that you have to be a family or you have to have past substance usage, which I don't have past substance usage.
I know someone who does.
So then, like, a lot of these programs are going to take a while. Someone said for my mom to apply for disability. She already has, but it's going to take a long time. Someone told me to apply for disability. I'm literally have an appointment the 21st, but the government shut down. So great, I don't know how long the government's going to be shut down. Probably not that long, but well, I would because of my disabilities, which are the major depression and the PTSD, but I don't know. They were helping me with that because I need an income. And then I was trying to do something else, but it's going to take a while. I'm trying to get an income so I could get a big house.
See, now it's not just a house anymore. Now it's specifically a big house. Everything she says about how she needs to get an income, none of it is about working. None of it's about actually earning her money. It's either making videos on TikTok, getting on disability for her major depression, or something else. And I think this something else in question is something Tophia brought up at the beginning of that clip. You see, she's gonna be like saying somebody I know is going through this issue. These other people I know can't get housing right now as well. And I think she's just talking about herself, because she's the family in question. She's really fucked up about the fact that they won't give this 31-year-old woman a free big house because her and her mother probably don't qualify as a family. They're probably thinking of like a mom, a dad, bunch of kids, or maybe just a mother, a bunch of kids. You don't qualify as like a child, Tophia. I don't know if that's like the prerequisites, but if they're saying family, that's what I'm imagining. I'm not imagining Tophia just getting handed this because they're like, oh, you poor Tophia having to stream from a park bench. Here, take a voucher for a free big house up in the hills.
It's taking too long to help get housing. It is for a house, but you have to understand, unless there are large content creators that are donating, it's going to go slow. And I am appreciative of every money I get. I'm not going to be ungrateful, but at the same time, 500,000 is a lot for people that don't have a lot. And I understand if anybody can donate $1, $2, whatever they can donate is fine. I'm not picky. But like I'm saying, at that rate, it's gonna take a while. Like, yes, I'm gonna buy a house with it. I'm not scamming people. I need a house. Like, I cannot do it there anymore. I am not sleeping properly. I'm lacking sleep. I'm trying to get on these programs that are taking too long. There's too much wait list. Nobody's getting help. They want to talk about how they're focusing on families, but then they're not really helping families. So what is really going on? Because why do you have these programs for families if you can't help them? Make that make sense. Like, hello? You're telling me I don't qualify for these programs because, one program was like, they don't work with people anymore. They work with families. Okay.
Again, I just have to bring up that while she's talking about how she just can't do it there no more, no, she's not sleeping properly. It's clearly not a good place to live. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Tophia, you're just hamming it up. It probably sucks there. But you know the old phrase, when the going gets tough, the tough get going? Well, when the going gets tough, the Toph goes to GoFundMe in hopes, among a hope, that people are kind enough to open their wallets to her. But, like, she's even saying she's generous for any amount. $1, $2. Tophia's not trying to be a bitch about it and going, oh my god, give me your fucking money right now. Like, if that's what she was doing, that would, imagine the type of video that would be. If she's just, like, staring at the camera like, hello, $10. Like, oh man, I can see that happening in the near future. But that's all you're gonna see in like all these Tophia videos. If anyone jumps in her chat and talks about getting a job, they get blocked immediately. But she will talk on and on and on about how like these programs aren't helping her or disability isn't helping her. And you know, again, one of these days she's gonna have to realize that it's job or nothing. You know, it's all Amazon's gonna be hiring soon. It's almost peak season.
There's so the lady that went viral for being homeless in the street with her 2 kids, they got her a house with no mortgage, which is what I'm gonna try to aim for. I could literally talk to them because I'm homeless. A house with no mortgage is great because then I don't have to pay a monthly fee. Because when you buy a house, you have to pay monthly taxes. At this point, I need to buy a house so I can focus on my social media. That's it. I'll start making YouTube videos. Right now, my monetization is turned off because I haven't been posting anything because I don't have anything to post. I have to leave places. Just to go live and go do things and film stuff, which is hard because there isn't really anything to film if you don't have any money. Like, I want to do plus size clothing hauls. I want to work on my clothing line. I don't got money for that. Like, someone says getting a job doesn't necessarily mean go getting a job. They said you can start a small business. Yeah, I can. But with what money? There are some businesses you can start with no money. But eventually you have to invest money to make money. That's the only way you're ever gonna make money. So I, like me and another person, had offers to go to California because that guy was like, yeah, I have a place there if you don't get anything, but I can't move all of my stuff there and live there, you know, like I can, and then just work on my social media, but my mom's not gonna do that. And it sucks because nobody is getting the help here, and it has nothing to do with a job, because there are people that get help without income. I literally applied for a program that is no income, that I'm on a wait list, who knows when, for housing, for an apartment. Yeah, because houses are not cheap. You have to have the buying, the closing costs. If you're bidding on a house, you have to remember, if I want a house, I can't just say I want the house, I'm gonna buy it. Someone else may want the house, meaning that the house gets bid. You have to bid on the house. On top of that, you have to pay money for inspections, because we do need to see the foundation of the house and see if it's a good foundation. Even though it looks like it's livable, there still could be issues. So I have to put forth money for an inspector to go out to inspect the house, on top of the bidding cost, because if someone else wants the house, we are fighting back and forth. We are bidding for the house. So that's gonna go up, and I may have to go a little over the asking price, just because, you know, I may have to go a little over the asking price just to get the house, because sometimes some people, they'll stop, they won't go a little over. I know what it takes to buy a house. Like, people say, I don't think you understand what it takes to buy a house. Yes, I do, because my dad wanted to do real estate. He wanted to buy property, sell property, flip houses. I know enough to buy a house.
Your father was a fucking scammer. Like, Tophiachu used to try to scam old women out of money under the pretense that he was Ozark Bank. Like, that guy, Tophia, you never learned a fucking thing working for him, I promise you that. But she's sitting here right now telling people the ins and outs of buying a house. You know, the closing cost, how much you might have to bid on it, that like she might have to bid more than somebody else. And this is all the stuff she's talking about as she sat there with like $40 in her GoFundMe. Like, this is not happening, but in her mind it's like, speak it into existence. Like, the more I talk about it, maybe someone will go, hey, here's a tenner. It's not I don't know. Like I said, it's pie in the sky, but it's pie that she can taste. She can smell it. You ever seen those old cartoons where they have a pie on the windowsill and the cartoon character just floats over to it? But the house is what smells good. It tastes good. Feels good to live in the house. And that's what she wants. And one thing she said earlier is absolutely true, and I'll say this throughout the entire video. Asking for help, there's nothing wrong with it. But there is if you always shamed other people in doing so, and now sit here and you're just like, yeah, I don't care. Say what you want. Yeah, I'm begging, so what? But I guarantee you, once this is all said and done, she'll, like in a month or two, see somebody asking for donations and be like, hey, you know, I don't think you guys should donate to this person. Like, I think they're a bad person. As a matter of fact, you should go report their GoFundMe. Just like people are telling others to do to hers right now. She's a hypocrite. And again, here it is with the talk about a house without a mortgage. A house that, as you'll find out later in the video, she doesn't expect to pay taxes for either. And I think this all stems from seeing some woman, as she'll bring up a lot of times in this video, getting this. Some random woman got given like $500,000 to buy herself a new house. Tophia saw that and she was like, cha-ching, that's the goal. That's what we're gonna do here. And I don't know if like a big YouTuber or a big influencer maybe shouted them out and then this person got all that money. And that's why Tophia is saying, you know, we need big influencers to boost this up. She's expecting Mr. Beast to swoop in and be like, Tophiachu, you're invited to the next season. Well, no, he's not even gonna say that. He's gonna be like, Tophia, you actually don't even need to do that. You work so hard already that I'm just gonna give you $500,000.
Like, yeah. There are ways around it, like buying a house with no mortgage. You buy a house with no mortgage. I can't get an apartment because it's not cheaper. They want 3 times the rent. I would rather own my house with no mortgage and not have to pay anything.
Why would I get an apartment I have to pay for when I can get a house when I don't have to pay for anything? Like, real. This is fucking real. Like, this is not AI. Nobody forced Tophia to say these things. She's like, that's what I said at the beginning. She is on another level this week. She's like, she expects this house. She may say she doesn't expect it, but you bet your ass she does. She wouldn't have made the GoFundMe if she didn't. And with the way she's talking now, it sometimes sounds like she already has the house. Like, she's already got the keys to that shit.
I already am in straits. Like, I need a place right away, you know, because, like, I could have roommate with people, but I don't have no money. And now look what's happening. They can't even get help. Like, I could have, you know, and it's difficult, especially in my situation. Like, these programs are just taking way too long. When I talked about that lady that was there at the West Side shelter for, like, 4 years, she's been waiting for housing for 4 years. Like, with a house, you can get it without a mortgage. That lady that was homeless with her 2 kids, they got her a house without a mortgage. We're homeless. You don't have to have an income to buy a house. They do it all the time for people. I've seen people get blessed with houses, with apartments. They do it all the time. But see, the apartment, they help someone pay it for a year, which means he could easily get a high-paying job. I can't get a high-paying job because I don't have a degree. There's that. And I can't work anyways because of the PTSD and the depression. And what people fail to understand is depression, you don't turn it on and off. That's not how it works. You can't just turn on and off your depression. Like, people think, oh, you went to a Jonas Brothers concert, you were able to go, but you didn't have depression then. I am depressed. I just don't, it's not a thing you turn on and off. Like, depression hits you when it hits you. And I feel like a failure. I really do. I feel like I failed people. Because if I had income, I would just pay for a house and say, hey, come live with me. You know, because I hate seeing other people struggling to find a place.
Let's see about that. One of these days, maybe Tophia will end up back in a house. And when that time comes, let's just see if she starts opening her doors to homeless people who need it on the streets. Or will she forget about the plight of homelessness altogether because it's not affecting her anymore?
We can't keep moving from one place to another. I get an apartment, someone sees where I'm at, and then they report us to the apartments. I need a house. I just need a house so I can work on my social media. And it bothers me because what is this city, what is this state doing to help homeless people besides dumping them in shelters and then saying, tough luck? Like, that's shitty. And the whole place is a health hazard. It's shitty. There's food crumbs everywhere. There's mice everywhere. There was a mouse literally in my hygiene bag. Oh, I never sat here and said, hey, I feel entitled to $500,000, give it to me. That is an insane, crazy amount to ask for. But in the same breath, I just, you know, I need stable housing. If I have the means to be rich, to be honest with you, I feel like I could be a millionaire. But right now, with focusing on trying to get a house and being in survival mode all the time and trying to take care of my disabled mother, that doesn't help. And being denied access to my social media, being told, well, you can't go live here. You can't go live here. When I go live somewheres, they have people, or I don't go live, but if I was to go live, I see, like, I'll be sitting there on my phone and someone's next to me. Like, they're trying to see if I'm going live. They have people watching me. Like, it is so crazy. I don't think I feel entitled to that money. It's not a want, it's a need at this point, because we can't be struggling anymore. Paying the amount of rent that we're going to pay is going to equate to buying a house in, like, what, 20 years? I don't want to live in an apartment forever. Like, I really, truly don't. And I can work on my social media. I can do YouTube. I can make really great content. I took film class, so I know how to use cameras and stuff. The issue is the content that I'm making is not the greatest. I know that because I don't have a way. I can go out somewhere and make content. But yeah, what am I going to talk about? I talk about things that people are like, shut up. I understand we're all struggling. But hey, look at it this way. Let's put this into perspective. If we all gave each other $1, right? Let's say there's 1,600 people. Imagine the 5 million viewers on my page gave each other $1 on Cash App. You'd be $5 million richer and be able to buy a house. Instead of putting money in corporations that are not making living wages. Someone said that I think if I get a job, I'm not going to make a living wage. I don't think. I know so. We all know so. We know exactly what the government's doing. We could see it. We could see that they're making more money than us. $330-something million amongst all the people in the government combined. And you've got celebrities out here living lavish lives, literally flying in jets from 15 minutes from one place to another, like Taylor Swift. Come on, if everybody gave each other $1 in Cash App, everyone would be richer. Imagine the 5.5 million people on my page giving each other $1. That would be insane, because then we would all be rich.
All right, Toph, you know what? I'm with you. I am with Big Toph right here. Let's all get rich. Toph, you start, though. Like, you get the ball rolling. You start sending $1 to every single person, every one of your followers, and then we'll all follow suit. As long as you get this train rolling, Tophia. Like, she just wants people to all send her $1. She's like, wow, I have 400,000 followers? That's holy shit. Wait, hold up. I think I just cracked the code right here and now in my own mind. She has like 400,000 something followers, pretty close to 500,000. That's probably where she got the dollar amount from, by thinking that, hey, if everyone gave $1, I'd have 500K. And when she talks about this, like, come on, everyone, let's send each other $1. Really, in her, like, the way things are working in her mind, everyone gets richer. I think everyone just gets $1 sent to them. Or everyone goes into crazy debt. I don't know how this would work out, but Tophia thinks she's got it down pat. She's also just saying things like, we can't be struggling anymore. And it's like, that's great, but there's many, many people in the world who shouldn't be struggling right now, Tophia. You are far from the only person. And to me, right, I don't think she hears herself. And matter of fact, I know she's not fucking hearing herself. And how just grating she comes off to anyone who's ever worked a job ever. Because Tophia, she's only worked like one day at Dunkin' Donuts. And her major claim to PTSD at that job was them saying that she smelled, which if everyone there is saying it, I highly doubt it's a lie. Tophia, though, she'll get online, she'll cry, she'll complain and say that she demands money, she deserves the house. And now I want to ask you, the viewer, imagine those days where you get home from work, it was a shitty fucking day. The only thing you want in this world is to not go back to work the next day. And you gotta click on your phone and see Tophia going, I deserve money! Oh my god, I need 500K, I want like, oh, I need to be doing clothing, like, don't you want to do clothing reviews and shit like that? Probably easier than your job right now, but Tophia thinks, fuck that, I should never have to have a real job, I should just get to have everything handed to me right here, right now, because she thinks she's better than just about everybody.
You're not donating for me to have money, you're donating for me to get a house. I don't know how else to make you believe it, because if I don't have money, I cannot just pick out a house. I have to have that money. When someone said, who was that in the background? There was this lady, she's obnoxious, she talks to herself, and she was singing a gospel song out loud. My savior will never fail, or something like that. I don't know. No, because it's not about having money. That money's gonna go towards the house. So what? I'm not gonna go on a $500,000 shopping spree. Not if I can buy a house with it. That would be the stupidest thing ever. People say I don't know how to manage money. I do. When I was younger, I was the one that saved $300. They want 2 to 3 times the rent, and you're not making $3,000 at McDonald's. And if you don't have 2 to 3 times the rent, and then housing will tell you make too much. You could get on Section 8, but then they're going to tell you make too much. I already know. I see it with my friend who literally works and couldn't get a place. It's frustrating. Like, why did they do that to people? I understand that people don't pay the rent on time, but it affects all of us when we have to go through that. Like, again, I don't want to keep renting to an apartment all my money, and then if something happens, we gotta be out. Like, you know.
Well, Tophia, it's called if you don't want to be out, then don't do anything to get yourself kicked out, or don't not pay the rent and get yourself just asked to leave. Your family has a horrible track record with getting kicked out of places, and yet you always blame the internet when, your father is smoking and lighting stuff on fire in some of them. In other ones, you're doxing your own address. And I wasn't going to bring it up, but you like to say that the internet doxes you, and they doxed your address the last time. And what are you doing right now, sitting in front of this building that I'm pretty sure is your shelter? Now, I'm not sure she's still at this shelter, but I saw people's comments, and yeah, apparently this was where Tophia was staying, and she has the nerve to say, oh, the internet's just doxing me and putting my info out there. You're going live in front of tens of thousands of people. Well, there's 1.6 thousand watching this stream, however, she has like tens of thousands of followers, and you're just plastering where you're at right behind you, and you'll blame everyone else for talking about it. Like, Tophia, you shouldn't have went live to begin with. And of course, she made this everybody else's problem when she put out a post a few days ago saying, God, it's so annoying that people are recording and re-uploading my streams. Like, I hate when people do that. Because, again, to Tophia, she'll always say, I have all my streams screen recorded. I have proof of everything I say. That's all she wants her streams to be. Things that she has on the back burner as proof if anyone tries to call her out. Now, she'll never show those streams because 9 times out of 10 she has no proof, but she wants them to just be lost to the ether. Gone. Just finito. Out of here. And she hates that people are like, no. Like, you're doing these streams, of course people want to watch them after the fact. She fucking despises that.
If I start making money, I can start doing my clothing line and start working on my restaurant.
Like this shit right here, right? Like, it's cool to have dreams. Everyone should have a goal. But to feel like you need to have a job, you need to have something to make that money before you make these dreams a reality. And you're just sitting here talking about your clothing line, your fucking restaurant. Like, but you just expect people to give you the money to do this. As I mentioned earlier, you're gonna see her say later that the house needs furniture. She already may have said that, but the house needs furniture, the house needs things paid for, and yes, she expects you, the viewer, to pay for that as well. And then once she sees she can get that money, which, spoilers, she won't, but if she were to get it, she would just continue and continue to ask people for more money every single time she needed anything. Oh my god, I need to go to the doctor's appointment, GoFundMe time. Oh my god, we ran out of groceries, we need to go to Walmart, GoFundMe time. Oh my god, my Rose toy broke,
I kind of got a little discouraged because I know it's a lot to ask for from people. But at the same time, I'm going to work for it, if that makes sense. Because I have to do social media. I'm not just going to buy a house and do nothing. That makes no sense. I can't sit around and be doing nothing. I don't like it when someone says, how does it feel not doing anything? I am doing something. I can't start Twitch because I can't have people in my background. So I left property to go live. If I go live on property, I was told that if they catch me going live, I will be kicked off property. She already does not like me. She already kicked me out of one place. And she said, because that's the only place they have for a place to stay, and my mom really needs a place to stay, I can't jeopardize that because of her health problems.
Tophia then spent the majority of this stream, or at least the rest of it, talking about how all Germans are racist, and it's a conversation that YouTube probably wouldn't like. I can't imagine TikTok liked it very much, but I believe this stream of hers got restricted for that reason. And then she just goes back to bitching more and more about her needing this house so badly. And then the next day rolled around, and you remember earlier in the video where Tophia said, I'm not in a bathroom. Like, what are you saying? Guess what? You want to take a guess where she's going to stream from next? She's back in the public bathroom. And what you're about to see here is another pretty shitty move from Tophia, as she's realized that the GoFundMe is not working, it doesn't have its intended effect, and now she's trying a new phase of this big plan of hers. The sympathy angle. She's been going live the past 3 nights, and every time I click on her stream, she's bawling out in tears, just saying the same things. We deserve a house. We need this money. And I want everyone watching this just to remember that these are crocodile tears. Do not see this and go, oh, you know what, man? Nah, fuck that. I do feel bad for her. Remember everything that's been said in this video. And also remember the very, very few times that you've heard any mention of her brother's funeral. Because that's not what she's crying about. If this was about her brother, I'd be like, you know what? This is pretty fucked up. I can understand why she'd be sad about that. She's just sad about people not giving her fucking money.
You know, the place that I'm at is really not unsafe. It's really not safe. I just wish I had a house. It's hard. Just to even get housing, it's difficult. And it's discrimination. It's because of my social media. You know, it sucks because I waited for this lady, right? I think she was supposed to come at 9. She came at like 1 or 2, and then I was able to like get over here, but it's wasting my time because now I have limited time to go live. I can't even go live for a long time, and now I gotta go back. It's literally been discrimination because of my social media that they don't want to help me. I keep getting put from one program to another. I feel like I failed people too because I want to get a place. I need to get a house.
Tophia, the only person you're failing is your mother by not doing anything to get you and her a house. You keep saying you feel like you're failing people. The reason she's saying that is because she feels like without a house, she can't do social media. She said it so many times throughout this video, and that's why she feels like she's failing people, because no new videos are being made and shit like that. You're failing people because you show no drive for anything. And her doing this shit, just crying on stream, like, look, it's only gonna reinforce her to do this more, because as soon as she started crying, look on screen, little gifts kept flying in. Now, I don't know if these are only worth, like, pennies on the dollar, that's what I've heard before, but still, it's more than she got before the tears started flowing, and I really think this rubbed off on her and she noticed this, because the next day, she came live and was already in tears, just already breaking down. And I'm telling you, man, based off of everything Tophia has been doing over the past week, making the GoFundMe, then seeing it not like succeed the way she wanted it to, now she's online just crying and throwing tantrums every day. This is genuinely the way like a moody child acts. Tophia is now going to cry and scream and bitch until she gets what she wants. This is the only way she knows about like going to do things. But now it's time for another player to join this story. It's Tophia's chat mod, and I don't know who this is, but I can't imagine that all of their, I can't imagine they're there solely for Tophia. It seems like this person might have a bit of a trollish edge to them, but I don't know. You guys be the judge of that. See that pinned comment right there that says, Tophia, we love you? Well, that's a normal comment you expect a mod of Tophiachu's to pin. No negativity, remember that. Well, that's not the only comment that gets pinned. Many more comments get pinned over the next, 10 to 15 minutes, and a lot of them are quite questionable. You might ask, hey, why is this Tophia mod pinning that particular comment? And right now, we're going to go through just a bunch of them here. With some of them you get to see Tophia's reaction. Some of them she clearly just ignores it altogether. Actually, most of them she ignores altogether. The funny ones, at least.
We're here for a while. And then, they can't help you. You got to pack up your stuff and go. I'm on the verge of losing my storage. They have this $270 plus some dollars on hold on my PayPal till the 17th. I'm like, bruh, I have my bill that I have to pay. Oh, but we can't process it because I had sent it under goods and services by accident. So instead of getting the full 800, they withheld 200 back. Sue Taylor Swift, that's funny. Sue Whataburger, that's funny. Subsidized housing, there's a wait list. So for anyone that's suggesting Section 8, there is a wait list. You know, I just need a better place.
She then goes on to talk about how one of the places she's trying to stay at requires you to get a drug test, and she's afraid she might fail because apparently she's around somebody who's using fent heavily, and they're using it so heavily that it's getting on Tophia's clothes, or maybe giving Tophia a contact high. I don't know exactly her reasoning, but basically, if she goes to get a drug test, her clear fear is that it may come out positive for fent.
One of the places that I have to qualify requires you to pass a drug test. How am I going to pass a drug test if someone's doing fentanyl and it sticks to me and then I test positive for fentanyl and I don't smoke fentanyl? That's my issue. It's like it's affecting me in the programs that I could possibly qualify for. You know, like there's a lot of other things, you know. Join the pyramid scheme, that would be funny. It does stick to your clothes because at the other shelter that I was at, that was an issue. And people were complaining because they go to work. And if your work does random drug tests, you can test positive for fentanyl. And then you can get, you know, that's basically what they were complaining about, because they said people have no, and they even said it in the meeting. They said that people need to have courtesy for other people because if someone's got a drug test and you're doing fentanyl, it's going to stick to someone and then they're going to test positive.
And so throughout the course of this video, you may have been asking yourself, what is Tophia's, like, what's her idea of work? Like, she says she can only work on social media, but what's she going to do? This shit right here. Put on face paint, put on makeup, try to look sexy for the camera, and you're wondering, is that her looking sexy? No, this is her trying to look sexy. And this is her job. This is what you're going to pay Tophia $500,000 to do. Only this time, she's going to do it in a house. But maybe my favorite part of the entire video is this shit right here. Because you see, if Tophia can start a GoFundMe just to get a house for no reason, why can't you? Why can't just the random, everyday, run-of-the-mill person, why can't they start a GoFundMe to try to get a house themselves? Like this one right here that says, buy us a house before Tophia. Like, that's a cute dog right there. I'm more inclined to donate to that one than I am to Tophia's. I'm not going to donate to either of them, but if I had to, dog wins every time. And then that one at the bottom, too, saying, we all deserve a better life than Tophiachu. with that very flattering picture of Toph down there. And it's just people saying, like, hey, you know, this is fucking ridiculous, you know? You don't need that GoFundMe. And just look at it up there. Does that go... The one on the top is Tophia's. What about that GoFundMe tells you that it's for a house? Does it look like it's for a house, or does it look like it's for Tophia's brother who passed away a few months back? I don't know. It's a picture of Tophia's brother, and it's named Donald Slidell Jr., so kind of makes you think she's trying to goad people into thinking they're helping her with, like, funeral costs again, when no, it's just whatever she makes off this GoFundMe is going right into her pocket, because she's not going to make enough to get a house, so really you're just paying for her next Whataburger trip. I also should mention that the other day Tophia was live. I mentioned the stream before and that she was just sitting there crying the whole time. And I'm not going to show it because really it is just inaudible crying and it's not really a very fun watch. However, near the end of it, apparently the cops show up. And I didn't believe this when I first heard it, but Tophia is going to address it in the next clip we watch, which basically confirms, yeah, it happened. And if you're wondering why people called the cops on Tophia, apparently the cops were called because Tophia was live the other day just making threat after threat at her own life. Now, those clips I did see, and I just want to make it known right now a few things. You should never just call the cops on somebody just for the hell of it, but that's not what I think happened here. I also think Tophia, she's been trying to garner a lot of sympathy lately. However, when people make threats like that, you should always take it serious. And I'd really like to believe that Tophia is not doing this simply to get people to go, oh shit, we should donate money, that'll make her feel better. However, the way she reacted in today's video, what we're about to see right here, makes me think that is what happened. Because instead of going, yeah, don't worry, I'm doing better, thanks to all the people who checked up on me, she's going, oh my god, stop calling the cops, it's so annoying, just let me do what I'm doing in peace. This is also the clip where you're going to hear Tophia say that she expects everybody to pay for, everything she needs around her house. This is probably the most insane one of all of them, and that's crazy considering what we've already seen today. But I'm going to shut up, I'm not going to interject, I'm just going to show you this in its entirety. This comes from like a 2-hour-long stream, and you can find it over on It's Patty Melt's channel. Also, shout out to Hat for getting all these streams archived as well. 2 great places to go if you want to see Tophia's streams after they happen. But with all that being said, here's this fucking shit show.
Yes, I wore it yesterday and I wanted to wear it again today. Thank you for the gifts. Like, who cares? No, I'm not at a community center. I'm at a park. Jesus Christ, why do you gotta know where I'm at all the time? Well, people need to stop asking where I'm at and then saying, well, she's here, she's there. Like, I literally said I cannot tell people where I'm at for safety reasons. And then you say that I'm somewhere that I'm not. Like, enough is enough. Just leave me alone. I would like to be left alone. That's it. That's all. They won't stop until something happens to somebody. Me. And I'm not threatening people. I'm saying they won't stop until something happens to me or until I do something to myself, because that's what they are. They keep pushing and pushing people. And no, I'm not saying I'm going to do anything to myself. Stop calling people. I hate it. Leave me alone. Let me be. Yes, I'm putting it towards the cost of living because I have to buy a freaking house. But I don't even know anymore. I don't want to talk about the house. But yes, I will be using it towards getting stable living. Because then I run the risk of getting, there's a lot of risk with an apartment. If someone sees where I'm at and I don't dox myself, then they'll dox me. Then they'll call the place and start harassing them. They'll start leaving fake reviews. Then I'll get kicked out of the apartment. And I also don't want to pay rent anymore. I'm tired of renting. I'm just sick and tired of it. I'm done. I'm not gonna let people get the advantage of just like, I don't know, trying to ruin my life. It's not gonna work. You don't have to pay. What does someone say? What are you going to do about tax? You don't pay taxes on a house unless you get a house with mortgage. You can get a house without a mortgage. You don't have to. And utilities, I will be working to pay the utilities. I already have something else that I'm going to be working on to have an income. But yes, you could get a house, no mortgage, which is what that lady did. They got her a house, but yeah. No, she doesn't pay taxes on the house, and I'm homeless, so I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you do have to pay taxes on a house, but that's if you have a mortgage. Or whatever the mortgage is monthly. So like if you buy a very expensive house, the mortgage could be very high. If you buy $1 million house, you could be paying $18,000 in taxes. It depends on how much money or how much you're buying the house for, and the yearly payments or the monthly payments. It depends. I know because I looked at houses. I was looking at houses way before this.
And I was like, you know, maybe we could all come together and live in a mansion, but that never happened. So, you know, I don't know. Yes, I do know how to own a home because my dad was going to flip and sell houses. And my parents were renting to own a house. Hello. I do not feel good at all. Jesus. Yeah, she's alright. I guess. She's not feeling too good. She got sick. Taxes, I don't know. It depends how they got that lady's house. Maybe I need to talk to somebody about, because I don't know anything. I just don't know anymore. I just don't want to talk about this stuff anymore. So you don't need an income to buy a house. The lady that was homeless, they bought her a house. It's not about income, because the only thing you would need to do is make sure you keep your lights on. That's all I would have to do. That's it. That's all. How do you think these YouTubers be buying these people's houses with no income because they don't work? They're homeless. Hello. They find people and then they're like, here, let us buy you a house. No, I'm not talking about YouTubers buying a house. I'm talking, you can buy a house literally with no income. People literally buy houses all the time because there's that show that is My Lottery Dream Home, and they bought a house from lottery winnings. Hello, that is not an income. Playing the lottery and gambling is not an income. How many times do I have to explain it to you for you to understand? You don't need an income. You're just trying to say get a job, even though I said stop asking me that. You don't need a job to buy a house. Okay, you can just buy a house. Jesus Christ. If you have the money to buy a house, they're not going to question if you have an income. You're buying the house. You're owning the house. You could be buying the house to rent it out. Whatever it is you're buying the house for. It has nothing to do with income. Sorry. Jeez. My bad that I burst your bubble, that you finally thought you had hope that I would get a job. Because you don't know how to leave people alone. I'm not going to explain to you how I'm going to pay all the expenses from the house after I get it. I'm just going to ask people to pay the expenses for me because I'm tired of explaining. I literally just explained what I'm going to do with all the expenses. That includes utilities and everything once I get the house. I shouldn't have to keep explaining myself. I'm not going to tell you guys anything because you really don't like me at all. So why would you care what I'm doing? And I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing because I'm not letting you ruin my stuff. So just leave me alone. You've already caused enough damage.
I'm just going to ask people to pay for everything. I'm just going to ask people for all the money for utilities and all that. Is that a crazy ass quote? Or, I mean, is it crazier than her saying, like, I'm not going to get a job? Hello, like, you can all stop because I'm never going to get that job. She is adamant in this. Like, can you imagine just waking up every day in the life that Tophia is living, the one that she wants to escape from so bad, and even if, like, say there was a job fair down the street, they're handing out jobs left and right, she would just go, fuck that. I'm not doing that. I don't know if it's out of laziness or out of her genuine belief that she does deserve like a millionaire lifestyle. I think she said it earlier in the video, but she could be a millionaire right now if she, just had a house and didn't have all these burdens in her life. And so let's just say she does get the house. What does she think is genuinely going to happen once she gets it? She seems to keep bringing up that, TikTok might not be the future. She might have to jump to YouTube where she can do her clothing reviews and all that. But really, she's she's just probably going to do the same stuff on TikTok, singing and dancing along to some random song, and it's just going to be more of the same. To me, this feels like the damn near end of the Tophia story. Eventually, she's not going to have enough money for a phone bill. Eventually, she's not going to have any shelters left to go to, and what will she do then? Genuinely, all these are questions that we ask about so many other people I cover here on the channel. What's going to happen when they go homeless, like Nova or Cyrax? But with Tophia, we're getting to see it happen in real time, and she just doesn't want to work for a damn thing. And if you take what happened to her brother into consideration, which is a tragedy for her, and, you could say maybe she needs some time to get over it before she gets out there into the world. That's not apparently what Tophia planned on. Hell, even if she needed 1 whole year's time to get better, she plans to never, ever do anything other than social media. And we'll see how it works out for her. I imagine we'll do another Toph video sometime soon, and I can't imagine the situation's going to get much better. Earlier tonight, Tophia deactivated her TikTok page, which led to many people believing she got banned. She then reactivated her account less than an hour later. Tophia is using this now as a big gotcha moment towards the trolls, saying that, they all believed she was banned, well, Tophia got you good. Well, I'm starting to believe that she deleted her account, maybe thought she'd get away from the shit for a few days. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy for thinking that. She could never actually go about, like deleting her account. It feels like a second of ad revenue, like 2 or 3 pennies from TikTok that could come in are too much for Tophia to lose. However, there's other speculation that maybe she got banned and then appealed and it got, sent through and she was all good. I don't know. Her account's back. Toph is gloating, and it's gonna be a very short-lived gloat because tomorrow she'll wake up and realize, fuck, the GoFundMe still hasn't hit $70 yet. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by the video. If you got this far, I can't thank you enough. I know this was a really long one, we're over an hour and a half now, but if you enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments, and hell, just let me know whatever you think about this video down in the comments. Are you as blown away as I am that she's really going down this route? Are you like, Smokey, come on. This is something we predicted months ago. Or how do you feel about it? If you like these videos, you might want to follow me over on Twitter at SmokeyMcC. I'm always tweeting about the different shit I make videos on. And if you like videos like this and you want a more live format, stop over Kiwi Tape's channel every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time for our podcast, Too High for Stupid. We also have a new Too High for Stupid channel where exclusive videos will be dropping as well as podcast archives, and that'll be linked in the description below. It's a bad week for Big Toph, man. I can't see it getting any better. But I'll be back in a few days with a new Andy Ditch video, so I hope to see you guys then. And until the next one, I'm out of here. Stay safe, and I will see you guys later. Take care, everybody.